So yeah, the real story is they're letting you know that your children are not safe, but that they have made everything safe for themselves. They have built a fortress. In fact, one of the men walking up, the one with the longer gray hair I spoke with one day, when I was up there, I said, I just saw that fortress is part of what you have to type in. And he laughed and said, yeah, we do that on purpose. And we do lock ourselves away. And he thought it was funny. He thought it was very clever. He was glad that I noticed. And it's their own little kingdom. And that's what they're letting us know. That your children are not safe. But we are. We are safe. And we're going to use your tax dollars to keep ourselves safe. And we're just going to throw everybody else to the wind. Very much the new royalty. Once again, remember they get paid to walk, which doesn't happen in the private sector. In the private sector, you have to work for your money. You don't go on break and get paid while you're not working. You have to work in the private sector. But this is the leisure sector where you can walk in your little park-like setting as children are getting shot just miles away, really, because they aren't safe and these people are, and there's no way you can even get to them. Look at that, way up there. Look how they built that. There's really clever architecture here where they're just way up, perched on things. There's just no way. They're letting you know up front, don't even try, don't even bother. It's such a Charles Dickens world up there. I remember one time walking up to the Attorney General's office to give them information about why do you have criminals working at the Evergreen State College, and this man burst out. He just burst out. And I saw a really good movie called, I think it's called Martin Chuzzlewit, one of those Dickensian movies, but it's really good. Sometimes they can just be boring and tedious and too thespian. But that is a really good one. You can find it on YouTube. And there's such a moment like that in the book of a man standing on the steps of some god-awful, state, bureaucracy in London. And it was just the same expression. It's that Kafka-esque feeling. And once again, this is all really social justice warrior turf. Antifa might be their useful idiots on the outside with their masks on, but these are the, older, more established one, and instead of wearing a black mask, they get to wear a great big building that they hide in, and they are just as faceless as Antifa. With their little parking garage underground and their little junkyard dogs up front that won't even let you in. And they truly won't. I have a sort of nightmarish story about going to Department of Health up here once because I saw something in one of their brochures that ended in .org instead of .gov.wa, and realized, wow, there's a private entity being basically advertised, and I was curious about that, and I wrote a little 2-line note, why is this, and please tell me more about this organization called CAP. It was called CAP, something really supposed to be like a hotline for the disabled, and they were just sort of all over town, and so that was interesting. So I went there and said, can you send this to whoever is in charge of this, in the records department, whatever, and can I please get a date stamp and a copy for myself? This is I didn't really think it was anything unusual to ask for. And when I asked for that, they said, would you please go wait somewhere? There's a meeting going on right now. The man got really flustered and said there's a meeting, as if in this whole huge building, you know, me wandering in, it's just beyond them to have a date stamp for what it was that I was submitting. And I used to work in, you know, law firms. It's not like I was coming in, you know, like I was, you know, something other. And they actually sent a patrol officer to find me, and he escorted me out of the building. He said, you're here, you're up to no good. And I said, I need to know your badge number. I need to know why you're doing this. And he said, they just don't want you here. And his name was Officer Atkins. I was able to get that much out of him. But yeah, that's what they do here at the state. And I'm paying these people, I'm paying for this, to be escorted out because I have a piece of paper with a 2-sentence question on it regarding one of a private organization that's printed on all of their materials. So that's how things roll in at the state capitol in Washington state. So here they can have a guard on a person who's really not expecting it at all. It was really the biggest shock of my life. You know, and I had just asked for it when they said that people were in a meeting. I said fine. I left. I wasn't looming over the desk. I went downstairs and bought something. So, you know, this is something that had nothing to do with anything I was emotionally involved in. It wasn't like I was there angry or dressed really poorly or whatever. There just was no reason for it. It was pretty much just a routine bureaucratic question. So this, once again, is how they roll here. And it's just interesting that they had called the state patrol. It wasn't even one of the security guards in the building. They actually called the state patrol. He probably showed up sooner than whoever, you know, showed up on the scene regarding the shooter in Spokane. They are just there to completely protect these people. It's weird. It's sort of like a clamshell, because when you get inside, there's just nothing but sort of pulsating goo. It's this protection of nothingness and of what we call the state shirker. It's the protection of these people that are doing nothing but waiting, you know, to go on their next walk. You know, they are, as Doc says, a friend of mine who knows this whole place intimately, that basically what we have here are the J.R. Tolkien characters like Frodo, who eat 3 breakfasts, 3 lunch, 3 dinners a day. Once again, the only people that I have seen working here are the overworked cafeteria workers, and the people here are very pushy. It's funny about the state, they don't answer their phones, they don't get back to you, they're just on leisure time for themselves. But down in the cafeteria, they are pushy, they yell, they berate the workers. It's terrible to see. And then, of course, there are the lawn care people who you'll see out trimming hedges or using horrible pesticides. I'm seeing a few weeds here, so I'm hoping the pesticide guys don't come out too soon. And it's a beautiful day here in Washington, and enjoy the rest of your day or evening. And once again, thank you so very much for watching. Take good care. Bye.